Welcome in, everybody. I'm Joey. So, I heard through the grapevine that Forza is doing some endurance races now with the new update, so I had to hop on and try out the same old shit, but longer, which is basically what it is. But no, in all seriousness, we have been asking for some longer races since this game came out. We finally got them, along with a brand new track in Sebring with the new update. What's not really new is someone getting their rear end assaulted around turn 1, and at Sebring, once things kind of slim down, the track gets narrower, then all of a sudden, after turn 1, everyone just starts killing each other. So that's what we're going to see here. Just some beautiful driving. That unfortunate soul just gets discarded like trash into the wall. Some guy in a Chevy Big Cat over here with the esports livery damn near spins me out, almost pit maneuvers me, but we got around him just fine, and this Cadillac is steaming down the straight into the hairpin, braking at that 400 board, and we're through there just fine. So this was actually my first race since the new update dropped, and I hadn't practiced on Sebring yet, so mistakes will be made, but I'm going to try to do my best. I also wasn't quite sure about the strategy. I saw a lot of people on hard tires, but when I have no fucking clue what the strategy is, I usually just slap on some mediums and see what happens as I kind of get edged off right there by the Porsche. So yeah, we're going for the mediums, and we'll see what happens as we get on further into the race. But this update, a really good step in the right direction. I think we've got these longer races, the 30-minute Forza GT races, which I'm doing right here. We've got the hour-long Le Mans races. As I get a little budgie, shall we call it, a little slap on the cheeks, nothing more than that. But yeah, the Le Mans 1 hour races, those look super fun. I'll probably try that next. And on top of that, we got the 2024 Porsche to go along with it. So very fitting. We got that along with these hour-long Le Mans races. Super excited to give those a go. While I've been talking, these medium tires have been putting in some work, making me look not so mediocre. Ironically, we've gotten quite a few passes done. I think we started in 16th and now up into the top 5. Like I mentioned before, though, most of these guys probably are on the hard tire, so while I feel like a driving god, I've actually just got more grip and should be going around the track faster. Later on, I'll need to pit a few laps earlier. Around turn 1 for the second time, I almost nailed it, just turned in a little too early and smacked the inside wall. The Corvette in front did end up going wide, so not losing too much time to him. And here's the difference between taking this corner narrow and drifting out wide and taking that late apex. Some love bites exchanged on the exit, but we're already long gone, half a second, and climbing as we continue down the straight. So that's the advantage of just drifting off to the right before you're going into turn 5, patient on the throttle as you're coming around, take that late apex. If you hit it right, especially in this Cadillac, which has a really good top end for the class, then you've got a really nice advantage heading down the straight. So that move pulled me up into 4th place, and now I've got quite a bit of fresh air here. 3 seconds to the guy in front, 3 seconds to the guy in back. I can put in some work, not have to worry about being defensive, just trying to catch up to the guys in front, get into that podium position, at least for now before I have to pit, probably earlier than the guys in front. 3rd place is going to have a little mishap in tower corner. I don't know how you could do that. I've never done that in my life, and I definitely won't do that this episode. Foreshadowing, skipping ahead to lap 3, heading into turn 1. 2nd place is going to back out and let me go on ahead, so I am now up into 2nd. Now it's time to track down 1st place in the Porsche. Here I'll have a pretty good opportunity to do that with the Porsche. A little off the racing line, coming around Le Mans and onto the Ullman Straight, sliding right into that slipstream as soon as we come out of the corner, and we'll see if we can get the move done. It's a race to the hairpin at the end of the straight. I don't know, can you call it a hairpin? It's like a really, really big hairpin, I guess. Scaled up hairpin, I'll call it. Either way, into the big-ass hairpin. Devin's going to try to hold it around the outside. A little tap on the rear end. That'll slow his momentum down. And we're through up into 1st place right before the start of lap 4. Now, at the end of lap 4 is when I got some pretty important information on the medium tires. The tires are starting to go. We're getting into that danger level, so I'm going to peel off to the right, go into the pits. Now I know I can do 4 full laps on the mediums before I've got to get a new set of them. So the genius level strategy or so I thought, that was floating through my mind at this point is I'll pit again at the end of lap 8, get a new set of mediums, and then at the end of lap 12 I'll pit and get softs and do some hot laps to finish off the race when I'm hopefully feeling the most comfortable on the track later on down the road. The slight issue with this brilliant strategy is that since I'm pitting earlier than most, I'm going to be dropped into the pack of angry wolves that want to sniff my rear end and bite my face off every time I pit. So I'm basically just dropping back, clawing my way back to the front, or at least trying to. So I'm putting a lot of faith in myself and honestly the other drivers too, that I'll be able to get around them quickly on the superior tire and cleanly so that I'm not spinning out and eating concrete in a wall or something like that. As we all know, the odds of getting an unexpected grass and concrete cocktail are pretty high, so I'm risking it for the biscuit here. We're going all out. We'll see if we can claw our way back to the front. Here on lap 6, the gap to the leader is, let's say, about twice as long as I would last in bedtime relation with a fine lady, which in the grand scheme of things is not very long, but in racing terms, it is a fucking eternity. So that is kind of worrying me at this point, but not too much considering Burnin' Rubba 24 has not pit yet. So I'm not totally worried about it quite yet, but it is in the back of my mind. What I need to focus on right now is getting by Red Dot Reaper 127 and Dark Waffles 316 in front of him. Some solid gamer tags as usual. I'd expect nothing less. So I'll slip by the Porsche through Bishop, and now I'm thinking I'll probably get the Corvette on the straight. But what he does here is drifts so far out wide that it opens up a massive gap on the inside, and I wasn't planning on going for the move there, but there was so much space that I said, fuck it, went for it. Rubbin's racing, I guess, and the fight back to the front continues. Now we'll try to get by this Porsche, a Dorito Bag 505. I like to think he was just baked out of his mind when he named himself just after something he wanted in the moment, but that was another instance when going through turn 5, you really got to drift out wide, take that late apex. I mean, I missed it by about 5-10 feet, but still got the run on him into the hairpin, breaking at the 400 board. A slight knock on the rear end. I'm not really into the butt stuff, so we'll kindly say goodbye and put a gap between us. We're back into the top 3, and some more good news is the gap to the leader has dropped about 4 seconds. I'd imagine both first and second are probably on the hard tire and planning on making a pit stop sometime soon. That was a terrible corner from me, but skipping the lap 8, I caught up the first place. Second place went into the pits. First place stayed out. That might have been the death of those hard tires. Screaming bloody murder I heard as I went by. My tires are actually about ready to call it quits as well on me, so as we come around Le Mans, hit the Old Mans straight for the 8th time, we'll finish off lap 8 and head into the pits for a new set of mediums. And as the plan was before, we're going to stick to it, and the next pit at the end of lap 12 will be for soft tires. I was a lot happier with this second pit stop compared to the first because I'm not going to have to crawl back 10 positions to get into the lead. This time it's only going to be 2, except I'm still going to find ways to shit the bed. Very on brand for myself. Tower is a tough corner. I don't know why, but it messes with my mind and I can't figure it out. Luckily, though, that was the extent of the trouble on this stint for the medium. So, again, we'll come around Le Mans, and now I'm thinking about what are my chances of winning this thing on the soft tires. So, taking a look at the leaderboard, Burnin' Rubba is on a 1 stop. He's 11 seconds back. Cork Mouse, who I've come up against a couple of times, a very quick driver, very clean driver. He's 14 seconds back on a 2 stop. Pearson Co., 21 seconds back on a 2 stop. So if my assumption is correct, they're going to stay out, not get new tires. They're going to finish it off on what they've got right now. I'm going on to the softs, and when I come out, we'll see just how far ahead they get. And here are the gaps. So 16 seconds to Burnin' Rubba. He's got half a second penalty and very old hard tires. So I'd imagine that time will start to come down here after a lap or 2. Pearson Co. in third has about 6 seconds worth of penalties. That's going to be interesting, especially once we get to the finish line. Having no penalty time was looking like a pretty good advantage until the second to last lap, final corner. I'm going to cut the inside part of the track and get myself 6/10. Brilliant stuff. high IQ plays from myself. I'd expect nothing less. I am pushing hard, though. It's the final lap around turn 1, and here's how things sit. So Pearson Co. is 4 seconds ahead, but that 6 1/4 penalties that they've got is what is keeping me in the running for third. Second place is only half a second in front of them, and then Corkmouse CE, very quick driver, clean driver. I've come up against them a couple of times. Nearly a big mistake there, but Corkmouse is going to be tough to catch. 10 seconds, I'm not sure that's possible to make up for in one lap. What's pretty awesome here, though, is we've got 3 different strategies going on in the top 4. So we've got 1 guy on the 1 stop, 2 guys on the 2 stop, and then there's my dumbass in 4th on the 3 stop. But I am trying to catch up. I'm on the softs and putting in some pretty good lap times, so there is still a chance to catch up. The variation in strategies is what's so awesome about these longer races. You don't really see that in the medium races all that much, and you definitely don't see it in short races because everyone's just on softs or mediums the whole time, and that's the job done. So to see people experimenting with different things here is pretty cool, but Burnin' Rubba has now fallen down into 3rd place. Those hard tires are really starting to take a toll on the lap times as they start to wear and tear. My soft tires aren't doing too hot either, but the gap is continuing to close, and around Le Mans onto the straight for the final time, I'm under 1 second. We'll be in the slipstream. It's going to have to be a move in the final corner for 3rd place, and depending on where 2nd place is, I might have 2nd place in the bag as well based on penalty time. So here we go into the final corner, trying to peek the nose of the Cadillac up the inside. Still trying to find that line up the inside. The Corvette's tires just give out, and there we go, up into 3rd place. 2nd place only 3.2 seconds ahead. That means I'll have 2nd place in the bag as well thanks to penalty time. There it is. After 30 minutes of racing at Sebring, it's going to be a 2nd place, up 14 positions. Shout out to Corkmouse for gaining 19 and getting the win as well. But yeah, I'm glad Forza added these longer races into the mix. The options and variation strategy have me pretty excited to try some new things out. And I saw they added the Nordschleife to the multiplayer roster now, and we've got the 1-hour races of Le Mans as well. So some fun things happening. I'm just looking forward to racking up some penalty time on those 1-hour races. That is going to be an absolute disaster, and I'm going to be racing with the E and D level drivers for a long time. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for me. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, do all the stuff YouTubers tell you to do at the ends of videos, and I will talk to you soon. Alrighty, bye everybody.